All right. So look, check it out. All right. Just check this out. I'm not gonna go over these pipelines have been leaking hardcore throughout the 2000s. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go over the 2000s. In fact, I wanted to do everything from 2010 and on, but it's so many of them. It's ridiculous, man. How many of these pipelines either burst, leak? It's so ridiculous. It's honestly, it's actually worse than I thought. The more I looked into it, I knew, and I knew it was a lot, but it's even worse than I thought. Check it out. We're just gonna go over the year 2016. Now, before I go over them really quick, you'll hear the people building these pipelines. First of all, using things like eminent domain and stuff like that, are just able to get government approval, right, to build these pipelines however they see fit. It doesn't matter if you go through a person's farm. It doesn't matter if you go through Native American land, right? It doesn't matter if you're going underwater through a lake. It doesn't fucking matter. Or under a lake, you know what I mean? Or near a lake. It doesn't matter if it's under a neighborhood. Who gives a shit? These have at it. You put the pipeline wherever the fuck you want. This isn't about being anti-oil, right? This is about the pipelines specifically. There is a safe way to move oil from point A to point B with truckers. There's safe ways to do it. I'm not going to say a trucker has never flipped and caused a spill or something. Of course that happens. But if that happens, first of all, it's just that one truck, right? But it happens far less often. But now let's go ahead and talk about this, all right? Check it out. 2016, January 2nd, 3 people were injured, 1 seriously. 1 home destroyed and 50 homes were damaged in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, when a leak of gas, of a gas main anyway, entered the home. Results indicate that the leak occurred at the weld seam of the gas main. Later, Oklahoma regulators filed a complaint over the failure with Oklahoma Natural Gas. The complaint alleged the utility failed to properly inspect its system following 8 previous leak failures in the neighborhood going back to 1983. Right? So whenever you hear about regulations, like, I'm anti-regulations, like, fuck that shit, right? You have to regulate this shit. You don't just let them do whatever they want. The motherfuckers, being careless and shit. I mean, not properly getting inspected and just crude oil falling all over our fucking lakes and rivers and gulfs, and they don't give a shit. People's drinking water and shit. They don't care. Just fuck it. Destroying homes. Who gives a shit? Injured 3 innocent people. Who gives a fuck? It is what it is. January 9th, a 30-inch Atmos Energy gas transmission pipeline exploded and burned in Robertson County, Texas. 4 families nearby were evacuated. January 11th, butane leaking from a pipeline storage facility in Conway, Kansas, forced a closure of nearby highway for a time. So, if you happen to be driving in a highway, hey, it is what it is. Just wait for us to fix our shit. Okay, you can't use the highway. I'm sorry. Big deal. February 14th, a 6-inch crude oil pipeline broke near Rossett, Wyoming, spilling about 1,500 gallons of crude oil into a creek bed. Oh, isn't that brilliant? I mean, it's just fucking, who gives a shit, right? On February 16th, an explosion and fire occurred at a gas plant in Frio County, Texas. 2 employees of the plant were injured. On February 24th, a 10-inch propane pipeline exploded and burned near Sulphur, Louisiana. There were no injuries. About 208,000 gallons of propane were burned. The cause was from manufacturing defects. But hey, let's cut back on who cares about regulations, right? On March 11th, about 30,000 gallons of gasoline spilled from a leaking plug in a pipeline at a tank farm and Sioux City, Iowa. I thought these things rarely happen. That it's just rare. They're very safe. There's a small sliver of a chance that it's going to leak. Okay, big deal. On March 22nd, about 4,000 gallons of gasoline spilled from a 6-inch petroleum products pipeline in Harwood, North Dakota. On April 2nd, the Trans-Canada Corporation Keystone Pipeline was observed by a local resident to be leaking. Does Keystone Pipeline sound familiar to you? The cause was a crack of girth weld and amount of tar sands. Dilbit spill was about 16,800 gallons. By the way, Keystone Pipeline, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were for it. Just by the way. April 12th, a pipeline at a gas plant in Woodsboro, Texas exploded, killing 2 men and injured another worker. Just 2 innocent people killed. No big deal, right? Hey, no big deal. These billionaires need to save money. They don't got money to pay, truckers to transport this shit safely. No, we got to do it through the pipeline, so your lands. And they spill in your water. If they happen to destroy your home, if they happen to just injure or just kill innocent people, they're too bad. Just too fucking bad. On April 17th, we're in April. We're barely in April. You guys should check out 2015, 2014, 2013. Check all those shits out. April 17th, a 10 petroleum products pipeline failed in Wabash County, Illinois, resulting in a sheen of on the Wabash River. About 48,000 gallons of diesel fuel was spilled. Oh man, poor Wabash River. So what? It's only water. I mean, that's all it is. So fucking what? So what? Right? On April 29th, a 30-inch Texas Eastern Spectra Energy pipeline exploded, injuring 1 man, destroying his home, and damaging several others. The incident was reported at 10:17 a.m. near the intersection of Route 8, 119 and 22 in Salem Township, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. Later, Spectra Energy Corp announced plans to dig up and access 263 miles of that pipeline from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. Corrosion had been detected at the failed scene 4 years before rupture. Now, what causes corrosion on metal? Can anybody take a fucking wild guess? Right. So why the fuck are we building pipelines under rivers, all right, and under lakes or around lakes or around rivers? Why? Why are we doing that? Are we that stupid or what? You're going to believe the owner of the pipeline, the ones building, you're going to believe them when they say, no, these things are safe, right? Of course they are. On May 20th, Shell Oil Company pipeline leaked in Tracy, California, spilling about 21,000 gallons of crude oil. On June 23rd, Crimson Pipeline crude oil leaked in Ventura County, California. Initial reports hit the spill size was about 25,200 gallons to 29,000 gallons, but later reports estimated 45,000 gallons of crude oil were spilled. I do wonder if the oil company lied, which would not be as shocked, and that's why the numbers have to be corrected. I wouldn't be shocked, But nonetheless, on July 6th, a plantation pipeline was noticed to be leaking in Goochland County, Virginia. The spill did not reach nearby waterways. Oh, look, they caught that one right on time. Right? Good. I thought they don't leak, though. Thank God it wasn't near a fucking river. Or for that matter, a Lake Hawaii that provides water for tens of thousands of people. Actually, millions, if I'm not mistaken. On August 12th, contractors were working on one of the main lines in Sunoco Pipeline LP's Netherlands, Texas terminal when crude oil burst through a plug that was supposed to hold oil back in a pipeline and ignited. The contractors were knocked off the platform to the ground, suffering injuries from the fall and severe burns. 7 contractors were injured. On ISIS, the fucking pipelines are killing and injuring more people than fucking ISIS. On September 4th, pipeline broke in Kern County, California, spilling reclaimed water and oil. On September 5th, a pipeline in Baylong, Louisiana was hit by a dredging operations, resulting in a spill of 5,300 gallons of crude oil into the water. On September 9th, on September 9th, a Colonial Pipeline main leak was noticed by workers on another project in Shelby County, Alabama. At least 252,000 gallons from the line. On September 10th, a Sunoco pipeline ruptured in Sweetwater, Texas. About 33,000 gallons of crude oil were spilled. The pipeline was just over a year old. Just over a year old. I thought this was rare. No, these things they're solid. I mean, the lake is safer with the pipeline than without the pipeline. Believe me. On October 11th, 2 Nicor gas workers were injured and 2 townhouse units destroyed in a massive fire and explosion caused by a gas leak in Romoville, Illinois. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Romoville? I guess. On October 17th, an 8-inch ammonia pipeline started leaking near Takama, Nebraska. A farmer living nearby went to find the source of the ammonia. It was killed by entering the vapor cloud. About 50 people were evacuated from their homes. A lot of you are waiting for the Illuminati to come get you out of your home. No, still wait for the pipelines. They'll get you out of your home quick, right? October 19th, the contractor in Portland, Oregon, hit a 1-inch gas work. Within an hour, there were 2 explosions, injuring 8 people, destroying or damaging several buildings, and started a fire. Contractors claim the utility locate was done before the work was begun. October 21st, an 8-inch Sunoco pipeline ruptured in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania, spilling about 55,000 gallons of gasoline into the wow. All right, hold on. Susquehanna River. There we go. The river was running high at the time. I thought these would never fall in the river. I mean, I thought these pipelines are safe and secure. That's what I thought. On October 24th, the Pennsylvania pipeline built by Sunoco, by the way. Hope that sounds familiar. And the Energy Transfer Partners, rupturing about 55,000 gallons of crude oil into the Pennsylvania River that is heading towards the Atlantic Ocean. These are the same builders constructing the Dakota pipeline, DAPL people, without conducting an environmental impact statement. Sunoco has over 200 pipeline leak incidents since 2010. And it provided a link where you could check that out. That, you see, when they say it's all bullshit, no. The water protectors, the natives are overreacting. You know, it's not going to leak. It's already happened, and not that long ago. Did the media report this? No. Of course they didn't. Why would they? I mean, I'm sure you've seen the ExxonMobil commercials when you watch TV. There's a lot of them on cable TV. You think they're going to do bad reporting on them? No, they bring in the moolah, money, okay? Build the pipeline. I don't give a shit. Gives a shit. A lot of these pipelines, mostly in rural areas, right? A lot of these bourgeois liberals in Washington and a lot of these fucking neocon conservatives don't give a shit. They don't live in a lot of these places. Who cares a shit? They don't care. On October 24th, a pipeline ruptured on the Seaway Pipeline in Cushing, Oklahoma, spraying the area with crude oil. I already read that one. On October 31st, Halloween night. Let's see what type of horror story happened on Halloween night. All right. This was in Shelby County, Alabama. Let's hear this Halloween story. A Colonial Pipeline main line exploded and burned in Shelby County, Alabama, after accidentally being hit by a track hoe. 1 worker died at the scene, and 5 others were hospitalized. The explosion occurred approximately several miles from the 9 September 2016 breach. On December 2nd, hey folks, it's just 3 days ago. I mean, at this rate, there's going to be how much you want to bet there's going to be another pipeline rupturing from now to Christmas? How much? Who wants to take that bet? Right? I'll take that bet any day. December 2nd, equipment failure in a Denver Resources source water pipeline led to a leak of approximately 84,000 gallons of source water into Skull Creek in Bowman, North Dakota. Gallons of source water into Skull Creek, not far from North Dakota. All right. So anyway, that's the way it rolls. That's just the year 2016. That is only the year 2016. Current day regulations, right? And then they want to hold back regulations. They want to pull back on the regulations. So let me tell you something. This is not an anti-oil message whatsoever, actually. I'm specifically talking about crude oil pipelines and just pipelines in general, right? To show how they burst and how they leak and they fall into water, why it's dangerous to have them anywhere near water. Especially water that provides drinking water for millions of people. It's not worth a 0.001% chance. Okay, but this is not 0.001% chance. The same company that is trying to build a pipeline at Standing Rock has a history of constant leaks and explosions. Hundreds of them. This isn't like it was just one accident, one incident, which would have been enough. It fell into a river and went over to the Pacific Ocean. I mean, that in itself is enough. But no, I mean, hundreds. Man, this has nothing to do with what type of gasoline you put in your vehicle. It has nothing to do with that. This is about building pipelines with either crude oil or gasoline anywhere near water, and especially drinking water. Okay? Fuck that. Not to mention homes that get destroyed. Not to mention people that have been killed. Not to mention people that have been injured. Whether they work for these companies or just complete strangers or farmers will have their farmland destroyed. Crops destroyed by these fucking pipelines. I mean, I don't understand. This is not debatable. It just isn't. And not to mention the oil, specifically the oil that is used on pipelines, is not oil that they use here. All right? It's not. It's oil they export and they sell outside the country. Just to add insult to injury, just sauce. Just add that insult to injury. I don't understand what people don't get. When people say they're for the pipeline, like, what do you mean you're for the pipeline? It doesn't benefit you in any way whatsoever. When they finish the pipeline, like, gas prices are not going to go down. You're not going to pay less for gas. Okay, it's not going to benefit you in no way. It's not going to benefit you. You're not going to win anything out of it. It's not going to create jobs. Once the pipeline is built, there is no more jobs. If that, they have inspectors. Because they need less drivers to transport the oil. So I don't understand like how anyone outside of the obvious, the owners of these oil companies, right, the contractors that build them, the pipelines, aside from that, I don't understand. And their investors, like your president-elect Donald Trump. I don't understand how any regular person can be for these pipelines. I just don't. It's not just a Standing Rock issue. It's not like, hey, these pipelines are great. man, I really wish these Native Americans would just let us do it. It's safe. No, they're not. They're not safe. Are you shitting me? For what? For crude oil could just spill all over their native lands and their holy sites just for that, or what? How about they build a pipeline under the cemetery, right, where your grandparents are buried? And if it bursts, it bursts. Hey, whatever. Especially with natives that are very spiritual people. And don't we live in a country that says we got to respect everybody's beliefs and this, that, and the third? You want people to respect your beliefs, but, you know, just whatever. Natives, come on, they're crazy. They believe in that, you know, that their ancestors are spirits, and they're fucking crazy. Who cares what they think? There's a treaty in 1855 that says that's your land. Now, well, who cares? We always disregard treaties, right? We always disregard. We rip up the treaties all the time with natives. It's year 2016, same old, right? They're saying, we're going to build this pipeline. These arrogant motherfuckers saying, we're still going to build it. They don't give a shit that they weren't given the final permit to build it. They don't give a shit. Why wouldn't they be confident? Did they let them build everything else? They let them build near homes and farms and rivers and lakes already. Well, what? To them, this is just another lake and river. Who gives a shit? It's just these crazy natives that think that this is their special land. And they're so concerned about the water. We're going to build it good. It's not going to leak, okay? Trust us. Does this sound like a record of trusting? I mean, shit. If you and I don't pay a credit card for 2 straight months, it fucks up our credit. Like they won't even give us a fucking home. These motherfuckers their credit as far as building pipelines is awful. They're always spilling, always exploding and bursting and falling into drinking water and land and crops. And who gives a shit? You know, just give us, you know, free access to everything. And on top of that, give me your police so we can push these protesters back too. You know, we're going to use dogs and make sure those police come militarized too. I mean, make sure they come with rubber bullets because we're going to get this shit done. Right? Enough of this. Move these natives out of the way. They should be grateful that we're building the pipeline in the first place. I mean, the arrogance of these motherfuckers. Pipelines just in general need to stop. Okay? In very rare circumstances, should they be built? Very rare. I mean, I would be strict as fuck with that shit. And to me, we would just stop building them, especially for crude oil, right? And gasoline, forget it. Even gas, fuck that shit. Yeah, sure, okay, so it's expensive to pay people to safely transport it. I get that. Okay, but too fucking bad. I pay the tab. I don't give a shit. It's not worth people's lives and crops and drinking water. It's not. These contractors and these oil companies making a profit, okay, it's not worth, all right, our sovereignty, our land. It's not worth that. It's not worth our water. The people that are for this pipeline, I mean, it's unbelievable. You're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. That or you're just not informed. I mean, it's one or the other. Now, let me say one thing, because, you know, I keep referring to the treaty. Let's not kid ourselves. Treaty or no fucking treaty, everyone knows that's their fucking land. When it comes to the Sioux tribe, everybody knows Standing Rock, whether there was a treaty signed in 1855 or not, everyone knows that's their fucking land. Everyone knows it. Everybody knows they were here first. Everybody knows that. I mean, you would think. I mean, for once, everybody could just say, you know what? Leave them alone. Stop trying to build a fucking pipeline there. Get the fuck out of here. And it's not like they didn't stop them from doing it. They told them just reroute it. Right? Obama just wants them to reroute the pipeline. They don't even want to do that. It's going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars. No. We're going to build it here. They think they have eminent domain on land that belongs to Native Americans. Now, I understand that's like an American tradition, right? But it's not going to fly that easy this time. It's not. Because little by little, people are becoming more informed about this. People are catching on to the big oil and their little tricks. Like they're catching on to it little by little. Right? Even the people that are into like conspiracy theories that the oil companies kind of push on the back end to be against, like, you know, solar energy and wind and stuff like that, which is completely safe, by the way. I'm actually going to get, it's going to be either late 2017 or early 2018. I'm going to get the new, I don't know if you guys heard the shingles that came out that are powered by solar, right? And they look like just regular house shingles. Beautiful shit. Beautiful shit. But anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.